defenses work. Where's the gas?
Something chewed through the connections from the utility shaft.
Bloodthirsty monsters and psychotic slashers are definitely horrifying, but this trope is somewhat expected from most horror movies. It's the unsettling and unexpected monsters that you should watch out for. There's probably nothing too scary about a young girl in a tutu twirling about to a tune of her own. Whimsical, maybe even a little strange, but not inherently evil. That is, until you get a look at her face, and whatever illusion of innocence you had flies out of the window before you can even draw a breath. The Sugarplum Fairy from the Cabin in the Woods is different from all the other villains in the film because she takes on the appearance of a seemingly harmless girl who doesn't immediately provoke fright. However, she's often overlooked in favor of the scarier elements of the movie. The Sugarplum Fairy portrays a very disturbing face of horror by converting a sort of childhood whimsy into something truly monstrous. In this video, we'll be exploring her character and overall role in the film. Before we get into our explanation though, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to the channel. It's a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Who is the Sugarplum Fairy and what is her role in the Cabin in the Woods? Also known as the Ballerina Dentata or simply the Ballerina, the Sugarplum Fairy is a humanoid monster housed at the facility. Although she is listed on the whiteboard, she's not bet on and appears numerous times throughout the film. The audience comes across her for the first time in her cube prison when Dana and Marty are sent to the arrangement of cubes in the facility filled with monsters. Marty notices her first while Dana focuses on Fornicus, and initially she stands with her back to Marty. When she senses someone is looking at her, she turns around and her face becomes visible. A shocked Marty turns away immediately, and the Sugarplum Fairy starts dancing while the camera moves to reveal the other monsters. She is then seen through a big CCTV monitor dancing in a corridor in front of a black-covered exit door. The corpses of many security force members lie on the ground around her, which suggests that she either killed and devoured them herself or came across their already dead bodies and fed on them. She's not shown actively harming or killing anyone in the film. While her character and portrayal are nothing short of chilling, many fans of the movie have expressed disappointment with the treatment of the Sugarplum Fairy. Since she doesn't appear as a very threatening character at first, it's been suggested that she could have been used as bait to lure others, if nothing else. Since she was housed at the facility, she's undoubtedly a force to be reckoned with. However, except for dancing, she doesn't really seem to do much in the movie. Then again, some other fans have supported her portrayal because she's just one monster among hundreds, some of whom were more overtly grotesque and frightful. It is possible that the makers of the film intended her character to be an antagonist, alright, but to add a sense of whimsy by making her only dance. This toned down some of the fear factor of the movie and added an element of absurdism that probably helped pace out the horror scenes. That being said, had she been summoned, it would have been quite the cinematic experience watching her use her innocent appeal to kill and devour those around her. The exact nature of her modus operandi isn't known in the film, but fans believe she's the kind of monster that likes to play with her prey and psychologically disarm them before using her many teeth to tear them apart. She's almost summoned in the cellar by Holden when he plays the music box, which has a tiny porcelain ballerina figure at the center. Had the song been finished, the Sugarplum Fairy would have been summoned by the cabin, and we probably would have seen a lot more gore in that case. What does the Sugarplum Fairy look like? The Sugarplum Fairy looks like an adolescent girl and is dressed as a ballerina. Her golden dress is faded, the tutu she wears has also seen better days, and she wears matching ballerina shoes. She has the mouth of a lamprey with no nose or eyes. Several sharp teeth make up the majority of her face, going in somewhat concentric circles. The backstory of this monster, which would probably explain how she got her terrifying features, is not explored in the movie, but fans suggest that she could be a creation of the nightmares of children, since Sugarplum Fairies are common during Christmas. The dress she wears reflects light ever so slightly, and her black hair is tied into a tight bun, just like a signature ballerina. As such, her appearance is nothing out of the ordinary until her monstrous face comes into view. What inspired the Sugarplum Fairy's design? Due to her unique design, the Sugarplum Fairy remains a classic example of some of the most disturbing monsters in cinema. It's possible that she was inspired in part by Tchaikovsky's iconic Black Swan, as well as Pan's Labyrinth. The Sugarplum Fairy in The Nutcracker is also a possible inspiration for this character. She could also be loosely based on the Tooth Fairy creatures from Hellboy 2, The Golden Army, and Darkness Falls, which which had the tooth fairy named Matilda. Given the very nature and appearance of this monster from the Cabin in the Woods, the use of the tooth fairy legend can be considered a fair inspiration. The lurker from Silent Hill Homecoming also has a head with a tooth-filled maw, which shares some similarities with our Sugarplum Fairy. However, the most interesting inspiration behind the character's design is the folk tradition of the vagina dentata. The Latin term translates to toothed vagina in English, and much like what it sounds like, it alludes to sexual intercourse resulting in castration or serious injury. It's mostly believed that this legend became popular because it stressed the danger of being seduced by unknown or mysterious women, but in a way, it also serves as a discouragement to rape or sexual assault. There are references to this legend across the world. In South America, the mythology of the Chaco and Guinea tribes mentions this. The Ponca and Oto tribes of North America also have stories about the vagina dentata used as an instrument to seduce, kill, and rob men of their belongings. In Hinduism, the Asura Adi, son of Asura Adavaka, tried to avenge the death of his father at the hands of Shiva by trying to seduce him after taking his consort Parvati's form. There is a reference to the toothed vagina here as well. However, Adi was ultimately killed. An Ainu legend talks about a demon who hid inside the vagina of a woman and castrated 2 men. Later, a blacksmith fashioned a phallus made of iron to break the teeth of the demon. In Maori mythology, it's said that Maui turned into a worm and crawled inside the vagina of the goddess Haine Nue Tepo and finally walked out of her mouth while she was asleep. But when the goddess discovers this, she bites the worm to death using her obsidian vaginal teeth. There's an Arabian legend similar to vagina dentata, except that the woman mentioned has spikes on her thighs instead of in her vagina. The concept of vagina dentata could be applied to the Sugarplum Fairy from the Cabin in the Woods as a possible symbol of pedophilia. The monster appears to be a young ballerina, a demographic that's susceptible to child predators. In fact, some fans believe that it's possible for the Sugarplum Fairy to have a backstory where she's a young girl who's a victim of a pedophile, and as a result, her appearance changes into a horrifying form so that no one can ever harm her again. Did the Sugarplum Fairy appear outside the film? At Halloween Horror Nights 23, held at Universal Studios in Orlando in 2013, the Sugarplum Fairy was featured dancing around. As such, the character remains a popular horror figure despite her limited screen time in the film. Her appearance is seemingly innocent and delicate, but upon closer look, it's nothing short of nightmarish. A parallel can be drawn between her and Pennywise, a clown whose traditional role is to spread cheer and laughter, but who is actually a horror beyond comparison. The Sugarplum Fairy's design also alludes to body horror by the deeply unsettling appearance of her face. Marvelous verdict! The Cabin in the Woods certainly exhibited a unique approach to traditional horror themes, especially with the use of certain comedic elements. Along with the other monsters, the Sugarplum Fairy has become a memorable character lauded by fans. Despite being a minor antagonist, she has a niche following in horror fandoms, with many theories surrounding her origins and abilities since they weren't explicitly explored in the film. Which monster from the movie did you think was the scariest? Let us know in the comments down below, and stay tuned for more marvelous content. And if you like this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, stay safe out there, and have a marvelous day.